Hi, it's Ryan from Knights Around a Table, feeling pretty confident that I've got the tech stuff for this video nailed. As you know, I've been experimenting with a live-to-tape setup and it's gone pretty poorly the last few unboxing videos I've done, but I just spent hours configuring things and getting set up, so hopefully there's not a lot of desync on my audio and video. I don't know, I won't know until I actually go through and try to edit it. The other thing that's going on is I'm posting this video, I'm putting it together as a safety video because my wife Cheryl, who's full of the great ambition and ideas but doesn't always realize how much the execution involves, suggested that when we go camping, going on vacation, that we shoot something from the campground, which is a really cool idea, but just in case it flops, I've got this video in the queue. So if you check the channel and you see the camping videos up there, then you know that it all went a-okay perfectly. If you're seeing this video instead, then you know we've been ate by bears and this got automatically published. So what is this? This is a game sent to me by the people at Board and Dice, who you may remember sent me a copy of their other game, Traintopia. This is a game that's in a series called Escape Tales, and it's called Low Memory. It's a steampunk escape card game. And here's something you might not know about me, or care to know. Before I launched this fun enterprise, this YouTube channel, I was a video game developer, and after that I was an escape game developer. So I had my own escape game company called LawQuest, and we ran an escape game called Escape the Book Club Killer out of Toronto. We had a very nice write-up in the Toronto Star that I encourage you to read if you're interested at all. And after that game closed, LawQuest actually became sort of a puzzle design entity, so people would hire me out to design puzzles for their games, or we did a live human scavenger hunt in London, England, and we did, I say London, England because I live in Ontario, and you always have to specify. You say, oh, down in London, and they say, well, London, England, or London, Ontario? And you say, well, London, Ontario. But this was London, England. So when it's England, you really got to say, ah, it was England. Ta-da. So, wow, what are we doing? I have never played an escape game in a box because I have to be honest with you, I got pretty burnt out on escape games when I launched my game. There were 4 or 5 of them in Toronto when I started, and by the time I exited, I think there were about 55 of them in Toronto. So it was a very saturated market, and my friends still really liked escape games. They say, Ryan, do you want to come play an escape game with me? But by then, I was completely burned out of them. So I had actually had plans to develop an escape game in a box, but I eschewed them, I did something different, and this is what I actually ended up doing. So I've never tried one. I know that they are, just like real life escape games, they're spotty at best. Some people do a really good job at them, and some people do less of a good job at them. And that was part of the problem running a live escape game, is customers were never quite sure which ones were the good ones and which ones weren't, because unlike video games, we didn't have, can you see that gnat flying around here? Gnats like to go in my eyeballs when I'm trying to shoot. I don't know if you can see him, but he's directly on my retinas, so I see him very clearly. Since there wasn't the review infrastructure that exists for movies and video games, people didn't really know how to tell a good escape game from a bad escape game. So they would go to a place and have a bad experience, and there were lots of bad experiences to be had, frankly. Maybe they would say, oh, escape games are dumb and I'll never try one again. And so that put the rest of us, who I believe I was making a decent escape game, kind of put us at a disadvantage. So it's the same thing with escape games in a box. This one, I'm not saying that this one is good or bad. I have no idea. But it's interesting that it's a cyberpunk theme. I don't think I've ever seen that. Now, it does use a trope of adventure games that we've seen in a bazillion adventure games. So the plot of this one is that there's a woman named Elizabeth in the year 2060, and her husband has gone off in their e-car and left her alone, and she wakes up on the sofa the next morning and her whole place is being completely ransacked and trashed, and she has amnesia. And there's the trope, the amnesia trope. So this goes all the way back to, like, have you ever played, goes my toilet, my nefarious toilet, I'll get you yet, toilet and NAaT, and I'm gonna go for it and stab myself in the eye with a knife. So if you played all the way back to like Deja Vu, that was one of the earliest adventure games I remember where you woke up with amnesia, and people who developed these games, including me, sort of like forgot about the amnesia thing because it was pretty tired by the first 20 games that did it. So I'll put that out there. I'm not saying that. I mean, I don't know. To me, honestly, it's a bit of a rookie thing to start your character off with Amnesia. I really like the games, the graphic adventure games, point-and-click games, where your character is very clearly and very strongly defined. That's what was so great about Full Throttle, if you ever played that, or any of the Tim Schafer or Ron Gilbert games, is you weren't this empty vessel with amnesia, you know, discovering your past. Like in Full Throttle, you were a badass biker dude, and it showed in every action that you took in the game. And I like that. I think I prefer that to, who are you? I don't know. It's kind of like, you're the game designer. You tell me who you think I am. You scripted this thing. You decide. It's just a personal preference kind of thing. Come on now, come on. Don't steer me wrong. Oh, nothing. Box fartometer, 0. If you've been following along the unboxings, I've had a really bad luck with box farts lately, but some of you are able to open boxes and hear all kinds of rude, dirty noises. If you're one of those people and you would like to share a box fart with me, please record it, upload it to YouTube, send it to Unlisted, send me a link, I'll download it, give me permission to use it, and I would like to put together a compilation of box farts to show the world what they're missing by watching these no-shows, these fart no-shows. Here we go, into the game, instruction booklet right at the top. Now, I'm going to be very careful not to show you absolutely everything, so I might spend a little bit more time in the rule book than I usually do, because I don't want to crack open a deck of cards that you're not supposed to see. You know, that's one of the hallmarks of escape games in a box, is there are elements that you're not supposed to look at. So, let's take a look. There's a QR code. All right, so it does use an app. So I know some people like that, some people really hate games that use apps. You know, coming from video games, I don't mind that at all. I think apps can do great things for us. I think part of the worry is like, oh, when I go to play this in actually 2060, maybe the iPhones don't exist anymore and I won't be able to download the app. And I'm saying if there's a game that you're still wanting to play in 2060, then it's probably a super popular game. They figured out another way for you to use the app contents anyway. Or on the flip side, it's doubtful that you'll be playing this game in 2060. So don't worry about it. About the game setup, goal of the game. Important. It does not matter how much time you take between. Okay, no, that's not it. Important. Whenever you receive any of these cards, never discard them. Okay, well doesn't tell us not to look at certain cards. Is there anything else that says important? Oh, I almost got that gnat. Cheryl likes gardening, and so she brings plants into the house, and then the plants, you don't care. The goal of the game, playing the game, storybook the story. I think there's nothing in here that says that we can't look at the stuff in the box. So let's, without further ado, and I don't know if the developers are actually watching this video and going like, oh no, I hope he doesn't look at the stuff in the box. But it doesn't say anything. What do we have here? This is interesting. This is like a journal that you can keep on the different cards that you discover. Huh. Oh, neat. And I like it, you know, when certain games have save game states. So that's really cool. You can come back and, you know, set the game up again if you want to interrupt it in the middle. Almost got that gnat. Almost got that gnat. You know what? One time I was trying to do a video a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't a gnat. I hope it's not showing up on camera because that's kind of gross and weird. But I had a huge housefly, like the size of a bird, that was around here. And the girls and I, my daughters, came down and we were chasing it down for the course of a couple of hours in the afternoon trying to kill this thing, because when it went by the camera, like the camera would sway. So we couldn't have that happening. So I couldn't film for like forever. What do we have? We have Escape Tales File 01 and File 02, followed by File 03, and don't look now. Oh, no, that's it. 3 files, and they each say at the bottom, don't open this until you fully completed File 01. So we're going to put those two aside and not look at them at all, but this one we can open. If you want to skip the tutorial, boy, we sure do. Go to page 1. So it looks like this is one of these ones similar to Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, where depending on the actions you take, it tells you to open up the case book and flip to a certain page and read a certain paragraph. And I'm always like, oh, I hope I don't read a paragraph that I'm not supposed to. Or in in Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, if you've ever played it, it'll you know, you'll choose a lead to follow and you'll go and you'll be like, oh, bummed out when there's like a tiny little paragraph of text. But you know that when you're heading into an area where there's like 2 paragraphs, you're like, yes, I did something right. What do we have? It's a map of the main character's apartment that I'm holding upside down. Shazamity. I hope this camera is looking better. The last video I did on it, you know, had auto white balance on and auto focusing and all kinds of auto stuff that I didn't want. Oh, so close. How loud is that when I try to smack a gnat right next to the microphone? That's probably more distracting than the gnat that you probably can't see. Decks of cards, CO41, CO95. I'm going to open just one of these and I'm going to pass it by the camera real quick just in case there's stuff here. Oh, here it goes. Aha. Look at this. It says, spoiler alert, this is the bottom of the deck. Do not look through the cards before playing. So unfortunately we can't. I can't actually show you what's in here. I wonder if this other deck says this. Ah, the other deck says the same thing, and then CO41 is going to say the exact same thing. So we're not actually allowed to look at any of the cards, which makes an unboxing kind of a weird thing to do with this game. But what else do we have? These are, I'd be surprised if we're allowed to look through these too. I don't know if these are map cards or puzzle cards. I'm gonna open it anyway. Very quickly, we'll kind of, well, yeah, these are locations. So this is probably how we trigger the different, or choose the different paragraphs, is we choose, not quadrants, what is sextants, if it's divided into 6s, I don't even know. But we probably choose a section. Yeah, so depending on the section we're choosing to explore on a different map card, we're going to a different paragraph, I'm assuming, and then different things happen. But I won't look at the rest of them. I think that's kind of how the game works. And we've got a bunch of tokens to mark things. And we've got a bunch of extra plastic baggies, presumably to keep cards in. Looks like they've given a little bit of thought to their insert. Decks of cards go here and here, and that probably ties into the save state. But weirdly, I mean, other board game unboxings I do, and I can't tell you much about it because I don't know much about it. And this is compounded by the fact that I don't know much about this game and can't even show you the components of this game. So what would be interesting, I think what would be the best thing for this game is, if you want to see how it goes, maybe I'll do like a live stream of it. Does that sound good? I'm almost at the point now where I have all the equipment that I need to be able to do a live stream. Remember, I'm waiting on a camera so that I can put stuff underneath it and show you cards large and in charge and big on the screen so you don't have to squint or pause to be able to see the text on them. Once that comes in, I'll be all set, ready to go to do a live stream. Now, I'm wondering how many players this supports, because if I do a live stream, 1 to 4 players. So I could play it by myself, or I could have my family involved, and that would make it a much longer live stream. But I don't know, let me know in the comments whether you'd like to see me do this solo, or if you want to see my family involved, to get my cute daughters and my lovely wife in there, and we'll see what it's all about. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Have you played escape games in a box? I know I'm not going to name names because I haven't played them myself. I'm hearing only secondhand reports about them. But there's one series that's very, very good, and one popular series that is very, very awful, my friends tell me. Maybe you want to chime in the comments below and let me know which you think is which. Or if you want to come talk to me about it in person on the Discord chat room, there's the link below, and you can type that in and join us there. Hope to see you soon, and see you in the next one. Did you just watch that whole thing? Oh, hey, to 100% this video, click the badge to subscribe, and then click the bell to get notifications when I've got new stuff.